It's like those dudes literally do a 2-hour show of nothing but advertising.
I know.
Just pumping their freaking scheme.
Gambling, though. Gambling.
Huh?
Gambling.
It's gambling.
Yeah,
they suck them in, man.
Right.
I was going to ask you if you're in the part of the investment bankroll family.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sports Shorts Radio. Ronnie Rantz alongside Joel Davis. Sports Shorts Radio every Saturday morning from 10 until noon. We're broadcasting from Greystone Golf and Country Club today in Denham Springs. We're presented each and every week by L'Auberge Casino in Baton Rouge. L'Auberge open 24 hours, 7 days a week. The Stadium Sports Bar, great place to watch all the LSU Ole Miss baseball action today. They play game 3 of that series at 1 o'clock. Who'd ever thunk it that LSU would be going for the sweep up in Oxford? But we'll talk about that. That's what they're actually
literally
doing.
Nobody in no show in Baton Rouge.
Is there anybody that really, I mean, honestly, outside of that locker room or that coach's office, I don't even think they believe. Who'd have ever thought, I'm serious, is there one person that thought, oh, LSU's going to sweep this weekend? I like the matchup.
Nobody thought LSU would win a game.
No. You got Marceau. They're going to win a game.
Every time I turned on the radio, and I don't listen to every show in town, but, I'm in and out of my car constantly. So every single show locally was doom and gloom going into this.
As well, it kind of should be, right?
Well, sure. I don't disagree with it. But, yeah, nobody saw this coming. But congratulations. They almost blew it on, Thursday night. Last night was closed until the end, and then today I'm sure they'll lose 9-0. Kind of the way the season's been rolling. Right?
Well, let's hope that's not the case. LSU baseball, we'll talk about that. We got the NFL draft coming up. I know that's one of your
favorite. We're going to spend some time on that today.
I know that's one of your favorite times of the year.
Yeah, I mean, me and Cano were doing a baseball show last week or 2 weeks out. Now I got another baseball guy with you today. We're going to do baseball because LSU is like on a streak. So I'm sure we won't talk at all about the draft, which is ridiculous because it's the most important thing in my life right now at this time in my life, and we don't even talk about it.
Okay, here's what we'll do. I'll carve some time for it. 10:45 today. Your last segment.
No,
segment before you leave 11.
No, I'm leaving now. We're not waiting until 10:45.
All right, 10:15 then.
How about 10:30?
10:30. We got Buzz coming on. Got the Buzz coming on.
All right, how about 10:15?
10:15 till 10:30. That segment.
All right.
We'll talk NFL draft.
Okay.
And I just want you to bring something to the table other than the NFL draft's coming up. I hope the Saints pick a good one. If you got some info.
What do you mean info?
I'm just saying if you got something to bring to the table.
I'm not in the know. I mean, there is nobody. Is my point. Nobody's in the building. Nobody's in the building. I mean, Mel Kiper Jr. has no idea if the San Francisco 49ers are going to pick Mac Jones or Fields.
I think Mac Jones is as old as Mac Brown.
Mac Brown.
No, but seriously, like
Mac Davis. How about Mac Davis?
We'll talk some after the big trade yesterday with the Ravens, trading Orlando Thomas Jr.
What are the Ravens thinking? What are the Ravens thinking?
They clearly don't think they can get a deal done. They tried to get an extension on this contract. But anyway, we'll get into that. That second segment.
Trading to
hold it. We got to have something.
All right.
In the second segment. So coming up at 10:15, we'll talk a little NFL draft. Joel's super excited. That draft sponsored by Wood Haven Furniture Company because we couldn't get a sponsor to talk about NFL draft other than Wood Haven.
It's incredible.
But at 10:30, Buzzy Heidel will join us from Back Brewley. He's getting ready for the big birthday party for one of his daughters. And so we'll talk a little LSU baseball that segment. And then we'll leave 10:45 for Ask Us. Ask Joel. We'll do Ask Joel, Ask Ronnie.
Ask Ronnie.
All you got to do is go to the 1045 Facebook page, go to Sports Shorts Facebook page, and you can go to Sports_Shorts on Twitter or Jab Step on Twitter.
Why can't they call the show? 499-1045.
We don't do that.
Just a quick question.
We're not gonna do that. It gets a little oogie. We got a new guy on the board. Don't want to make sure Hunter doesn't have to like hit the dump button on somebody. You know, he's trying to learn where the new dump button is.
You better make up some questions because people are not going to go to the Facebook app.
Yes, they will. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
Already said he's got guests.
And then at 11 o'clock, hour 2, Dan Canterbury will be here. We'll talk a lot of LSU baseball. Hour number 2, Joel doesn't have to deal with it. We'll also talk to Tommy Christan for a segment.
More baseball.
So a lot of good stuff. And then
Tommy's a little bit more diverse.
Then we'll talk a little bit about this Kim Mulkey. Are you caught up into this?
Yeah, dude. That's a done deal. She's not doing the Baylor show today. She's not doing the spring. She was registered. She was scheduled to do the Baylor game.
The Baylor. She was supposed to be an honorary coach along with some other coaches on campus for the Baylor spring game.
Yeah, not there.
And now that's not going to happen.
They're negotiating right now. That's all that's happening. They're negotiating. Now, of course, anything can happen. Those things can break down. Those things cannot work out. But right now, there is major smoke, major fire. It's looking good.
Okay, so here's there you go. Look, TigerBait.com. Our boy Big Mike jumps in. He's been all over. He's been following like everybody else. Why not? All right, so the WTF we could have done without that. But anyway, so he wants to know about Kim Mulkey. All right, so here's the deal with is that check the website lsusports.com. Is Nikki Farkas still on the website? Because she was the other day.
That means nothing.
As soon as you take her off the website, that's what it means. It means she hasn't resigned. Let's check the website.
We can't just let her go.
Well,
I mean, we can't just let her go.
Here's the thing. I think LSU is extremely scared of the word fired. Because, A, what does fired mean? Fired means that, A, you usually have to pay them something to fire them, unless you got cause outside of they're not getting the job done, they're not recruiting hard, they're not winning, players are transferring. That's not enough these days.
All of the above.
There's not enough these days to fire a coach. And with all the Title IX issues going on,
fired every day.
Racial issues that they're scared of. So because of that, she offered to them that she was going to resign, and they're like, oh, great. Oh, please. Well,
for the love of God.
Let's see. Has she turned in her paperwork? Has she turned in her paperwork? As of this morning, right now, still in there.
Well, that's why there's been no announcement for Kim Mulkey.
So,
I got a great idea. Dude. Why not hire Kim Mulkey and let her fire Farkas? Then you're free.
Hire Kim Mulkey as assistant AD.
Yes. Woman fires woman.
No, I like that.
It's brilliant.
Hire Kim Mulkey as the assistant AD.
Yes.
Let her fire Nikki Fargas.
Done. What are you gonna do?
And then once her stuff is out of the office and the paperwork's turned in, and once she faxed it in from the West Coast, then Kim says, "Well, I'm now going to hire myself."
Right. She's like a player's coach. You know, she's
I'm going to resign as assistant AD.
Let her stay assistant AD. That way, if she can fire everybody, she can just stay. I mean, I trust her. I trust her judgment.
Hey, listen, if there's anybody that could walk into an office
and fire somebody,
I think it's Kim Mulkey, right? I mean,
yeah.
I've never met a short 5'8" woman that intimidates me more than she is.
She's
fiery.
She's a dude. She's like a dude.
Dude. I mean, there's some
no. I mean, like ruthless, like a dude, ruthless. I should have said she's a cowboy. She's like a cowboy.
You want to think about it a minute and then say what you think?
Okay, she's like a what are those cowboys that rob banks? An outlaw. She's an outlaw. There we go.
Has she robbed something before? She just comes across.
She
wears a mask. What are we doing here?
All right, so she reminds me of someone that she walks in
Try
the
again
office.
for the fourth time.
Yeah, she reminds me of somebody. She walks in the office and she goes, "You're fired." They don't even question it. They just leave. They know that they didn't do something right, so they leave. But 9 times out of 10, if somebody walks into an office and they say, "Hey, you got to go. You're not doing your job," there's going to be like, "Well, why? Why are you letting me go? What did I do?" You're not doing that with Kim Mulkey. You know you've done wrong if Kim Mulkey tells you got to leave the office. That's my point. You do. She's like a rebel. She's a cowboy. She's an outlaw. I love her. I want her hired. By the way, can we give Jordy Collada some credit?
For what?
This is the first one that really brought it up. Had it.
No, he wasn't. I mean, he was the first one. He had the first one ever on the show. But everybody, listen,
Come on,
everybody knew that when Nikki Fargas was hired in the first place, they went in the middle of the night to her house without anybody knowing to try to see if she'd be interested in the job, and she was just making way too much money. It was too long ago, and so now, listen, I don't care where you're in life.
Yeah.
She's been at Baylor 21 years, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
At some point, I'm looking at your face. I mean, like it just. That's why I don't want to
like
say
Tom
I'm not
Brady.
anti-marriage,
Like Tom Brady.
Maybe that's why I haven't been married yet.
Tom
It's
Brady.
because at some point, just get tired of looking at your face.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's just, at some point, it's just like, hey, I mean,
It's time to move on.
it's 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at you for
Your
20
face.
years. Like,
So, but see,
come on.
but some people after 20 years, they fall even more in love.
Is that your
For different
case
reasons.
with you
Yeah,
and
of
your wife?
course. I mean, I love my wife for so many different reasons. I'll give you a perfect example, dude.
You probably love your wife because it'd be hard for someone else to love
There's
you.
nobody else would love me the way my wife loves me. I don't think I could love anybody else the way I love my wife. Okay, so like this morning, this is new thing my wife started doing. It's incredible.
Pancake?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the other day, she leaves we have a little Splenda box, and my hand's too big to get in the box. So it gets lower. My hand's too big to get in. Your hand's like ridiculous. The box would get completely stuck in your hand. You get like a finger in there. Anyway, so the other day, she just happened to little coffee area behind our kitchen, a little closet with that's all our coffee and stuff in there. I go in there and I reach into the box to get some Splenda, and I knock over everything. Dude, I'm like a bull in a china cabinet. I knock over it. And I'm like, see, why don't we put this in a container? Why don't we just put it in a container? Why do we have to leave it in the box? She's like, I have never ever knocked anything over grabbing the Splenda, ever. Right. And I'm like, and I had neither till that point. And what I noticed was my hand was it's too big for the box. And I was a little bit, I was a little reckless. Yeah. Let's just be honest. Yeah. So today I go in there. No, I'm sorry. It was yesterday. Mm-hmm. So I go into the little coffee making room and, dude, if I'm lying, I'm dying. She had my cup out. She had 2 Splendas. She had the coffee Keurig, the little thing that you put in the Keurig, the little coffee, little cup, sitting all right there, so I wouldn't knock over anything.
Oh, that's
the cup, the 2, yes, the cup, the 2 Splendas, and the little coffee.
There you go.
Just sit down.
So nice.
That way I don't knock anything over. Right. I don't
she
get my hand stuck in the box. But now it's an everyday thing.
Right.
She's been doing it every day. It's like the 3rd day in a row.
She gets up, she does her
yes, because she's up about 30 minutes ahead of me. So there's different reasons why I love my wife. So recap while we're talking about it.
The reason you love your wife is because she puts the Splendas out.
No, she steps up her game on why she loves me. Like she takes care of me. She steps her. So maybe, and the reason why we're talking about, maybe Kim Mulkey, the championships, is stepping up her game. Every time she wins, although she didn't win this past year, got robbed. But I mean, she's in the Final Four. It seems like every year, right? So she just steps up her game every year. If you're not stepping up your game, you lose love. You lose that lust for someone. Right. So she's just able to step up her game year after year after year.
You got me thinking, Joel. I mean, you really have me thinking.
I'm telling you, if you're with someone and they step up their game, it's hard to fall out of love with that person. You start loving them for different reasons.
Yeah. Deep Thoughts by Joel.
Yeah, you're welcome.
By the way, chapter number 1, we were going into relationship advice from JD.
Let me just tell you something, dude. If you're married and you want it to work out, step up your game. Step up. Do the little things.
That's a T-shirt. All right, we'll take a break.
Step up your game.
We're over here at Greystone Golf and Country Club in Denham Springs, Louisiana, about 15 minutes from the I-10
I might have just saved some marriage.
I mean, there's a lot of guys up there with a tear in their eye. Thinking,
That lucky bastard.
Today we're at Greystone Golf and Country Club. They actually have the Parish Cup Challenge coming up at 1 o'clock today. So it's the battle between Greystone and Corporate Plantation. I think it's 32 golfers or 64. It's a bunch of golfers for Greystone and Carter doing battle, mano a mano, Ryder Cup style. Playing Greystone today, Carter Plantation tomorrow. Always a lot of fun. The trophy for the Parish Cup, I'll show you that coming up a little later in the show for those that are on Facebook. Here in the bar at Greystone, which is great. Parish Cup. They're going to have the second one coming up this weekend. Cart path only today, which Joel wouldn't like because it makes you walk a little bit longer. But the course is ready to go. But it got a lot of rain yesterday, but it's fine, and they're going to tee it up at 1 o'clock today. We're over at Greystone and Denham Springs. We'll take a break. Be back with our segment number 2. Draft presented by Woodhaven Furniture Company coming up next, and then Buzzy Hydell at 10:30 to talk LSU Ole Miss. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Shorts Radio. Ronnie Rantz alongside JD the Hog. We haven't said that. I mean, but all that Mary talk, I needed to work that in for you. We're over here at Greystone Golf and Country Club in Denham Springs. You can watch us. We're obviously listening to us on 104.5 ESPN. But you can watch us also on Facebook if you go to the 104.5 ESPN page, or give us a like on Sports Shorts. It's a little white backdrop with red writing that says Sports Shorts, because there's a few others out there, so that's why I want to make sure I point that out. But give us a like on the correct Sports Shorts Facebook page, and you can chime in. You can see Joel's beautiful face, and also you can might have some comments. Appreciate Craig Schilling and Mike Scarborough, Eddie James, some others that are commented already. We'll talk a little LSU baseball coming up at 10:30 with Buzzy Heidel, and then we'll also talk with Tommy Chrysan. And Dan Canterbury will be here with us at hour number 2. But right now, Joel Davis has been waiting to talk a little bit about everything good with Mom?
Yeah,
okay.
Make sure.
You know,
yeah, the mom's calling me like at 10:30.
Yeah. 10:20. Gotta answer that. Yeah. All right, so let's talk some NFL draft. Do you have a routine? Like, are you I know like with certain sporting events, you lock yourself in your bedroom away, you sequester yourself away from your family because you're outrageous and a little ridiculous.
Totally different.
NFL draft doesn't do anything for you.
I'm not gonna get outraged over what Jacksonville. Now I love the drama. I love it when the Raiders pick early because they usually pick somebody obscure that you've never heard of, that was never in any of the mock drafts. So they're fun. They're always fun. This year's not going to be a whole lot of drama until San Francisco picks. We know Trevor Lawrence, who, by the way, is not going to the draft. He's not going to. And look, I have a problem with that. I think it's a little weird.
First pick, unanimous first pick.
Right. There's a tradition. First guy, obviously last year was a little different, but you walk on stage, you hold your jersey up. Even Eli Manning did that. And he couldn't stand where he was thinking he was going, right? So my thing is that however you feel about the draft, and I know you're a family guy and your faith and this and that, your family, and I want to be with bring your family, bro. Bring your family. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This picture of you on stage with the commissioner, who, by the way, who wants to take a picture of that guy? But anyway, the point is,
it's an hug if you want.
Correct. It's a tradition, right? It's a tradition, and I just think it's a little weird. And I got in a big text argument yesterday with a friend of mine because he's a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, and he just gave me this. He just because I tweeted out yesterday, red flag. I called it hashtag red flag. Lawrence not going to the draft. No, it's kind of just having fun with it. But he is a generational talent. I get it. But I think it's a red flag. I don't care how much if I was his brother or his sister or his uncle and you're not taking me to Cleveland to the draft, I'm going to punch you in your mouth. I got a problem with you. Stop being so selfish. I understand you're selfish. Even though you don't want to stand on stage with Goodell, I want to watch you stand on stage with Goodell. You're my loved one. If my son, let me tell you something. Right? I'm telling my son right now, Ryan Davis. If you're out there listening, if you were, or Mason or Brady, if y'all are out there listening, and you're not tired of hearing your voice at home, I'm surely not going to listen on the radio. If you picking the draft and we're a tight family, and you said I'm not going to Cleveland, I'm going to punch you in your mouth. You're taking me to Cleveland. I want to see the process. I want to go through the whole spiel. I want to do the whole thing. So it's just a red flag to me. Hippie boy is not going. I'm just look. That's my rant on.
You are. Mr.
I would go Zach Wilson. I would go Zach Wilson
because of that.
Yes, I think it's a red flag. I don't like it, and I really like it. I think I might even go Justin Fields first. I just think hippie boy's got some issues there. I think that there's some things.
So is California from Remember the Titans, isn't he? Or Sunshine,
Sunshine.
From Remember the Titans. It's unbelievable.
You can paint the most beautiful picture about this kid as much as you want. But Andrew Luck was a weirdo, and he just retired on you.
But he was
retired in the middle of.
Nobody does that.
Andrew Luck did it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he did it. It's not like another guy. Andrew Luck was so worth the pick, though.
I understand that, but what was he in the league? 8 years, 7 years, and one of those he was hurt. My point is that he's so weak. That kind of decision shows me that at any point the dude is, I'm done with football. I'm gonna go be with the family.
No, he wants to be with his family and friends.
Bring your family to Cleveland.
There's a lot of people not named Joel Davis that actually think it's nice that he's humble enough. He wants to be with the people that are important to him.
Correct. That means he would retire on his football team because his family's more important.
One guy did that.
You think Drew Brees would just not show up to the draft? You think Drew Brees?
I don't know that it cares.
He's a family guy. You think Peyton Manning wouldn't go to the draft.
But Peyton Manning's
It's
more
today's
worried about his
society.
sponsors and his brand. I don't know that really shows you that Trevor's not as worried about his sponsors
That
and
worries me.
his brand.
That worries me because your sponsors. And
This is a good line. Craig Schilling said, "Getting punched in the mouth is the same as going to Cleveland." You can either go to Cleveland or get punched in the mouth by Joel Davis.
Maybe that's why he's not going. Maybe it was a New York show.
I mean, it does have a nice downtown area. We've heard it over and over. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is there. It's amazing. We get it.
It is Cleveland. That's a good point. So anyway, there's no drama. The whole point is the drama of the draft. I love the drama. I always love it when someone picks someone obscure. The Raiders again. That's going to happen this year. And the best part about it is that the Saints are picking 28. A lot of quarterbacks are going to be picked in the first 10 picks of the draft, first 15 picks of the draft. You probably got 4 quarterbacks, which means there's someone going to fall. Someone's going to be there at 28 that otherwise may not be there. And that's fun to see who that guy may be. And there's some talent out there that has some injury history that could be there, like Farley, for the cornerback from Virginia Tech, who's probably the most talented quarterback in the league. He's had some issues. Who might be there at 28? You don't know. And the Saints have proved it over and over and over again. When they're picking late in the first round, they're going to go best player available. And a lot of times that's going to be an offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to go anywhere near a defensive lineman in the first round. I don't care who it is, what it is, away from a defensive tackle or a defensive end with that first pick, because I don't trust to pick a linebacker or a defensive lineman in the first round. Wait and get them late, because they've proved that they're not very good at picking those 2 positions ever. They got to get free agents, and they got to get they got to get free agents or free agents, just whether it's college free agents or NFL free agents. I'm scared to death of them picking a defensive tackle, defensive end, or a linebacker in the first round. Davenport proves that. That was the guy that they thought was the dude. They go give up 2 first-round draft picks to get him, and we seen 2 first-round draft picks out of Davenport? We've seen flashes, but we haven't seen what we want. So stay away from those 2 positions. I'm fine with every.
One of the online drafts a day ago has Trevin Moehrig.
Good safety.
TCU has going to New Orleans.
Well, he's probably the best safety, that's in college football right now, and I wouldn't be opposed to that position. I wouldn't be opposed to them going safety. As long as they don't go linebacker or defensive end or defensive tackle, I'm fine with whatever. Wide receiver, I'm fine with that. I'm fine. I mean, Bateman should be there from Minnesota. He should be there at 28. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be there at 28 that could go in the top 20. Someone's going to fall to him.
Moehrig, by the way, just to give you a little bit about him, he was an All-American Jim Thorpe Award winner and first-team All-Conference pick. 47 tackles, 2 interceptions, 9 pass breakups. He did have a sore back during his pro day, but still participated, so give him credit for that.
Tough guy.
6'1", 202 pounds. He ran a 4.5 40 and had a 33-inch vertical. And again, all that with a little bit of a sore back, so he wasn't 100%. By the way, let's talk a little bit about this. Orlando Brown Jr. gets traded. This guy's a Pro Bowler in 2019 and 20 with the Ravens. Only 24 years old.
Yeah.
Going into the last year of his contract with Baltimore. They clearly thought, Joel, that they could not get this extension done. They must have exhausted all opportunities. Maybe Brown told them, "Look, I'm out.
Right.
I don't want to be here. I don't like it. Whatever. The crab cake's overrated." Maybe he told them that, but the bottom line is they traded him to Kansas City. Kansas City gave up their first-round pick this year, which is the second to last pick in the first round. Gave them 3 picks in between this year and next year's draft. In exchange, the Chiefs get Orlando Brown to play left tackle now for Patrick Mahomes. They're now their job in a later
second round. They got a second round pick.
So Ravens basically dump an asset, get something for it when they think he's going to play one more year, run out his contract, and then go free agent somewhere else. So I guess it's a win-win really for both. It's a shame that Baltimore, though, couldn't keep this young 24-year-old 2-time All-Pro left tackle.
I don't see, that would never happen in New Orleans. New Orleans would never let Ramchick go. They're going to find a way to keep him, right?
How about Mahomes, though? I mean, this is great for him because he's running around like a chicken.
I saw in the Super Bowl
because those 2 tackles were out hurt. Both of them, one's retired, one's gone.
Their offensive line was in shambles.
And so now, I would imagine, before they made this trade, there's probably some conversation with Orlando Brown Jr.'s agent
Sure.
to make sure they could get a deal done. Let's make sure, And if you're Orlando Brown Jr., you're like, hell yeah, I want to play in Kansas City. I'm going to play with a winner. I'm going to play with the best quarterback in the NFL. And he's going to make me look good. As much as I'm going to make him look good, he's not going to get sacked every once in a while when I miss a block.
I mean, you go from, Lamar Jackson being your quarterback, you miss a block and he can make you look great. Now you got Patrick Mahomes, and someone misses a block, he can make you look great.
The difference is between now, if you miss a block, Patrick Mahomes can throw an 80-yard touchdown.
Correct.
Whereas, before he might scramble for 15 yards.
And so, I mean, good for the kid. He'll get paid in Kansas City. I thought Kansas City kind of won the trade. To be perfectly honest with you, I think that they get a young talent.
Absolutely.
They need that position. They give up a first round. They really don't even lose a first round draft. They move from basically 31 to later into the second round. So they're moving back around, basically. They save. Correct. So they don't get that first round draft pick, but they get the Ravens' second round draft pick, and they just basically falling back, 30 picks and they get Orlando or this young talent that has been phenomenal at the NFL level.
All right, you good? You got all the assistants?
We're moving on.
Presented by Woodgate Furniture Company.
You don't want to ask the draft?
Yeah.
Guys, obviously that, Rashad Bateman is a wide receiver that I think would fit. Terrence Marshall, Ron. Terrence Marshall from LSU. If they picked, and he's probably a second round draft pick. I think, second round pick, he'll probably get picked in there. May go in the first round. But at 28, I would not be opposed. I think that he would be perfect for what the Saints want to do offensively. They need someone that can stretch the field. He ran a 4.3 at his pro day. He's a big dude.
Was really,
red zone threat.
Big surprise at the time he put up.
Very surprising.
He was as fast as DeMar Chase.
He's a big dude. He's 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", big guy, 4'3", 4'4" guy. He's a red zone threat. You put him with Troutman.
6'3", 201 is what they said.
But if you put him, Troutman, Kamara, and Michael Thomas together, man, that's a
picture of Michael Thomas with his shirt off, flexing.
Dude's a beast.
He looks
Man.
like a linebacker.
He's a monster.
All right, Lsu Baseball. I'm Ronnie Rantz. We're broadcasting today. Sports Source Radio presented by the Bears Casino. We're over at Greystone Golf and Country Club in Denham Springs. It rained a lot, but the course is going to be ready for the Parish Cup coming up at 1 o'clock. The battle between Greystone and Carter Plantation. The Battle of Livingston Parish. The first annual goes to Greystone. They've got their trophy here in the bar area, and we'll see if they get to retain the Parish Cup, which it's not a cup, it's a wooden block. So whatever, go figure. We'll be back with Sports Shorts from Greystone right after this. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back, everyone, to Sports Shorts Radio. Ronnie Rantz, Joel Davis, over here at Greystone Golf and Country Club in Denham Springs, about a 15-minute drive from I-10, I-12 split in Baton Rouge. The golf course is in great shape. Of course, Chris Burkstaller over here, the head pro, does a great job. And Greystone is the home of the Parish Cup, the first ever Parish Cup, which took place during COVID. And then now we've got Parish Cup number 2 happening today at 1 o'clock. They'll play. It's a Ryder Cup style event with over 60 golfers representing Greystone. 60 golfers representing Carter, and it'll be the Greystone today, Carter tomorrow, and we'll see if the cup stays in Denham. Well, let's go right now to the phone line and bring in Buzzy Heidel. Buzzy's joining us on Sports Shorts Radio. Buzz knows his way around a golf course, JD. Just got back a couple weeks ago from the Masters. It's his first time on Sports Shorts Radio since the Masters, I believe. JD, Buzz, as now that you're getting back to normal life, and now you're not a gallery guard for 7 days at Augusta National, you miss it. What's the takeaway now that we're getting some distance away? We got the Zurich going on this week. Now that it's been a couple of weeks, what's your reaction?
But you're not there.
Now you're not a gallery guard for 7 days at Augusta National. You miss it. What's the takeaway now that we're getting some distance away? We got the Zurich going on this week. Now that it's been a couple of weeks, what's your reaction?
Yeah, well, I got offered to go to the Zurich today, a couple tickets. I said, I'd actually go to another golf tournament in April. You might have heard of it.
Well, I got to ask you.
No, thank you on those Zurich tickets. But
the Zurich is going on right now. You played TPC in New Orleans many times.
Yeah, I guess
when you watch these pros play, are you like going, man, I don't know that? What's your
there
takeaway?
for 7 days, and I told some people, some other gallery guard, members that I just to get mundane. I don't want to just be like, I'm at Augusta again.
Yeah, I have the scorecard in my.
It's on number 10 again. I want it to always be special, and so, but it's a long week, and it was. I learned a lot. I'll tell you that. Just about how.
And I beat Chris Husser too, by the way. Who at the time, but just to let everybody know, at the time, Chris Husser is a pretty good golfer from
it's well worth it just because they do a lot during that week, and
he was a scratch guy. He considered himself a plus 0.2. It's basically scratch. Now you know what his GN is now, Buzz?
The Zurich is going on right now. You've played TPC in New Orleans many times.
He's finally adjusting it to be a little bit more normal than what it was.
You're like, man, I'd have done better than that. What's your takeaway?
Well, it's funny, Ronnie. You and I actually went to play it, I believe it was during COVID last year, and that was your best round, if I'm not mistaken, of your life. But you shot 80.
Yeah, 80. Shot 80. I have the scorecard in my glove box.
Yeah, so I think I shot 79. I mean, I only beat you by one with the 35 strokes you were getting. You destroyed me that day. But
and I beat Chris Husser too, by the way, who at the time was just to let everybody know, at the time Chris Husser is a pretty good golfer from these and a better pool player. He was a scratch golf. He considered himself a plus 0.2. It's basically scratch. Now you know what his GN is now, Buzz? 4 point something.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he's moving up.
He's finally adjusting it to be a little bit more normal than what he was a year ago.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta, the game humbles you a little bit. We call those reverse sandbaggers, okay? I can name a few, don't want to go down that list, but guys that maybe think they're a little better than they are, but I'm like, that's only hurting you when you go out there and you're not getting the strokes that you probably deserve. But to answer your question, Ronnie, about the Zurich, when I watch these guys, I know every hole. I'm not going to say I know every bump and every bunker on the course, but I know the course pretty well. And I'm watching and I'm looking at, like, for
I know you've been keeping up with the Zurich. Where's Sam Burns? He was tied for the lead halfway through yesterday.
And I was there. It's one of the longer ones for the pros. I'm watching number 12, and I'm like, I don't remember that hole looking like that. Well, the reason the hole didn't look like that is because we played it, 75 yards further.
Struggled with it, the bogey in it.
The course definitely plays different for these pro guys. And
100%.
And so it's fun to watch, though, and it's fun to watch those guys go get a golf course when we're shooting 79 and 80, and they're going out and get it, 68, 67. Of course, it's a team event, so there's a lot of birdies, and that's fun for fans to watch when guys go out there and make a lot of birdies because they can be a little more aggressive at times, especially when they're playing that 4-ball. Now, when they're playing the alternate shot, you see some bogeys and some double bogeys come into play a lot with these guys because alternate shot's not easy even for those pros.
I know you've been keeping up with the Zurich. Where's Sam Burns? He was tied for the lead halfway through yesterday.
Fell off. No, so the problem with Burns is on 18, him and Horschel are playing in its alternate shot, and you know 18 well, Ronnie. You got a little
struggled with it, but ended up bogeying it.
Yeah, we'll call it the tight sphincter. Okay, on 18. Sam Burns,
100%.
Sam Burns got the same thing. He was on 18, and he just blocked the ball right. I mean, directly in the water, right at top, and he hit it. 300. He hit it 300 yards in the water, but he hit it in order. Literally, Billy Horschel, an alternate shot. He's got to hit the next shot. He literally has to tee up from the tee boxing. I mean, he could have maybe got 20 yards, but he says, well, it's better for me to tee it up and take a rip at it. I think they ended up double bogey in 18 to, obviously drop 2 strokes. And so they made the cut. They were really in the mix going into 18 yesterday, and they had a hiccup. And but Burns has been playing pretty well, and it's fun to see. That's what's good about the Zurich. You see some guys play together. You got Bubba Watson and Scotty Scheffler. Scheffler made a joke in front of Bubba Watson on a media day, said something about, nobody else wanted to play with Bubba, so I got
talking with Buzzy Heidel about the Zurich Classic. Buzz, tell us a little bit about LSU baseball. I mean, Champ, who comments on a lot of the sports talk radio shows, he's very valuable in the huddle on YouTube, Facebook, you name it. He's probably the only person anybody knows of in the city that says, LSU's going to sweep Ole Miss. We now have a chance today at noon. You did not.
I don't know what the connection is there because the Spaniard and a Texas. Anyway,
but just give me some thoughts on what you saw the first 2 days.
It's a fun tournament. It's not quite as lackadaisical, I wouldn't say, as like the Waste Management Open over in Arizona, where they go crazy and they scream and yell. But New Orleans is a party city, and they've got the Acme Oyster House. They've got all the different places, venues to hang out, and it gets a little rowdy over there. It's fun for sure.
Talking with Buzzy Heidel about the Zurich Classic. Buzz, tell us a little bit about LSU baseball. I mean, Champ, who comments on a lot of the sports talk radio shows. He's very valuable in the huddle on YouTube, Facebook, you name it. He's probably the only person anybody knows of in the city that said, LSU's going to sweep Ole Miss. They now have a chance today at noon. Not one. You did not say they were going to sweep Ole Miss. But just give me some thoughts on what you saw the first 2 days.
Well, my first thought is I think I'm going to change what I don't want you to bring me to dinner. I just want you to. We're going to play around the golf at Greystone. You're going to pick that up, and then I want to get 2 of the nice ribeyes, maybe even fillets from Calandro's Meat Market. I want you to. Well, you probably don't know how to grill it, so I'll grill it. But I think I want to change my ways. I don't want you to take me out when I win the bet. I just want to go to your house. We're going to play some golf, and we're going to grill some steaks, and that's what we're going to do. Okay? Because they're getting 12 wins, right? I mean, this is the shot and all they need. Yeah, it's going to be tougher to sweep just because filing a Sunday pitcher it's not been very easy with Jake Hill out now. But the good news is AJ Latham threw all 9. You guys talked about it yesterday. I said, they're going to need Latham to feel like he hit and bringing somebody that they don't have to throw a whole lot of pitches, Edwards or somebody like that, will help complete game. I mean, that's exactly what the doctor ordered, and so they got all guns blazing today.
Tell us the record, Buzz, in 08.
So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know who even got the start, Ronnie. Maybe you know.
6-11. Now, if Buzz, I'll say this: if LSU somehow ties today, then they are going to make an NCAA regional because that would be too unbelievable.
And win the series. They've done that. That just goes to show you. Look, confident right now either. I mean, you watch them; they're
so they're either going to be 6-12.
did.
7
You know,
and
they
11.
look kind of shaky on
Clearly, if
defense.
they're 7 and
LSU's
11,
taking advantage of it.
and they got series
A big
against
swing by
A&M
Cruz
and
on
Auburn and
Thursday
Alabama,
night.
you like their chances to
You
get
know,
5
great pitching
wins
performance
out of
by
there. At
Levis
least cover
yesterday.
your
And then
bet,
you got,
and probably
you know,
more than
counted off
that.
the
But if
Grand
they go
Slam
6
tonight
and
to give
12,
them a little
and then
breathing
they
room.
got
And so,
Arkansas home next week,
look,
you're back
I
to
mean, crazy
probably
thing
hoping
that
at
I know
best to
somebody out
get
there
1.
we thought about it right now.
You-
Oh, wait, you know the story.
You
I'm
still
not
feel
repeating it again,
optimistic
but
that they're going to
we
get
were
to 12, 13
and we
wins?
went on a run.
Toss the record,
And the
Buzz.
reason that's important,
We went on the 23-game win
12
streak.
wins, Buzzy wins
Yeah,
that we and I have. I think 13
they're not
wins,
going to
based
toss
on
it.
the
Now, Buzz, I'll say this.
gets
If
LSU
LSU somehow
into an
ties
NCAA
today,
tournament, which normally
then they are
maybe
going to
not
make
the
an
case, but I
NCAA
think
regional
it is.
because that would be too unbelievable.
There's no doubt. In some ways, the tie would be just incredible. No, you're right. I mean, it's just, you know.
So they're either going to be 6 and 12 after today, or they're going to be 7 and 11 after today. Clearly, if they're 7 and 11 after today, and they got series against A&M and Auburn and Alabama, you like their chances to get 5 wins out of there to at least cover your bet, and probably more than that. But if they go 6 and 12, and then they've got Arkansas at home next week, where you're back to probably hoping at best to get 1 against the #1 team in the country,
Right.
you optimistic that they're going to get to 12, 13 wins?
I do.
But the reason it's important, folks, is because 12 wins, Buzzy wins the bet that we and I have. But I think 13 wins, based on the SEC being so hard this year, gets LSU into an NCAA tournament, which is normally maybe not the case, but I think it is this year.
I do think
Taylor,
they
what's
still
the
get that
stats,
money
man?
just because the games get easier. Texas A&M, Alabama, and Auburn. Now that doesn't mean you just pull the ball out there and go win. You still got to go win the baseball game. I mean, they didn't think Tennessee was going to be as good as they were. They thought maybe they were going to get a game or two over there and they go get the win. So you still got to go get the win. But the schedule just
He's buzzing high on one last thing before we let you go, Buzz. You were missing out today, by the way, big guy, because Joe hasn't even chimed in because he's rubbing it out on Chef Shane, new chef over here at Greystone. Made us some Mexican breakfast burritos,
Bacon burrito and a sausage burrito.
And look,
bacon, and then we've got queso dips, some fried tortilla chips, like tortilla chips. Joel's having a loving life
Sorry,
right
Buzz. Congratulations, you went to the Masters.
But listen, Jordan Thompson, 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. What was Paul thinking putting him in the 3-hole yesterday? I mean, that's just, where did that come from? Coach Maneri, all of a sudden, we got a guy that's in the bottom of the order. He had 6, which he's doing great. He's a true freshman. The average was up in the 200, had a couple hits Thursday night. All of a sudden, he goes from being 6, 7 in the lineup to now you're in the 3-hole. And of course, they throw him all breaking balls and goes 0 for 4. Thanks for just ruining his confidence.
Greystone made us some Mexican breakfast burritos, bacon burrito and a sausage burrito. Bacon, one's bacon burrito and one's a sausage burrito. And then we've got queso dip, some fried tortilla chips, like fried pita chips. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, Joel's loving life. Right? Sorry, Buzz. Congratulations, you went to the Masters. We're eating burritos. But listen, Jordan Thompson, 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. What was Paul thinking putting him in the 3-hole yesterday? I mean, that just, where did that come from? Coach Maneri, all of a sudden, we got a guy that's in the bottom of the order. He had 6, which he's doing great. He's a true freshman. The average was up in the 200. He had a couple hits Thursday night. All of a sudden, he goes from hitting 6th, 7th in the lineup to now you're in the 3-hole. And of course, they throw him
So
all breaking balls.
Mike Bianco and Drew Bianco is 2 for 8. Okay, with one of the worst base running gaps in the history of LSU baseball. On front, all right. Do we think that there's a guarantee? I mean, where did that come from? He's going to start and play every game in the Ole Miss series on the road against his dad. I mean, like, it's just, I mean, like, Coach gets caught up in the storyline. He loves the storyline. There's no justification for starting Drew Bianco to hit under 200. He's got less range than the other 2 guys at second base. I guess he thought, well, he's going to be so motivated. It's just so crazy.
Sometimes you just need to let him
Yes.
in that 6,
Can we
7
just
hole.
leave a little bit of life?
And let the confidence build. But he was going off of a little bit of a whim, probably, and a little bit of a feel, and it didn't work out. So we'll probably see, Cruz or
so Mike, you were terrible there. We're going to be back. So Mike Bianco, Drew Bianco is 2 for 8. Okay, with one of the worst base running gaffes in the history of LSU baseball. All right. Do we think that there's a guarantee? I mean, where did that come from? He's going to start and play every game in the Ole Miss series on the road against his dad. I mean, like, it's just, I mean, like, Coach gets caught up in the storylines. He loves the storyline. Like, there's no justification for starting Drew Bianco, who's hitting under 200, who's got less range than the other two guys at second base. Like, I guess he thought, well, he was so motivated. It's the
Coach Bertman was always great about hometown guys playing, starting in their hometown, being on the road, but it was like at Lake Charles against McNeese, or against UNO in New Orleans because you were from New Orleans, or Southeastern and Hammond because you were from the North Shore, not Ole Miss top ranked.
Did y'all see the after he had the base running error? The next inning he had a grounder hit to him. He almost took it out. You can see that it was still
All right, Buzz, we'll let you go. Tell us where you at today. You got a little birthday party?
And so the game's just fast for him right now. And look, I think that was the opportunity to give him maybe one more chance. Right?
Oh, nice. Oh, you're at the jumping place.
Great this year. So
yeah, trampoline jump.
We're in Ole Miss. You're gonna have all kinds of people there that you know. Maybe it's the storyline that we're looking for. We put him at second. It didn't work out.
Yeah, Coach Bertman was always great about hometown guys playing, starting in their
Caroline from back Bruley. In Denham Springs, go figure.
Southeastern and Hammond because you were from the North Shore, not
right.
Did y'all see
halfway
after he had that base running error, the next inning he had a grounder hit to him, and he almost Chuck Knob blocked it into the dirt. I mean, you could see that it was still affected. I mean, that's
all right, Buzzy. Have a good one, man. That's Buzzy.
All right, Buzz, tell us what we got today. Got a little birthday party.
Radio will be at Calandro Supermarket next week. Buzz, have a good one. We'll take a time out and be back with more sports church from Greystone.
Oh, nice. Oh, you're at the jumping place. Trampoline joint.
Hey, my little Caroline turning 5 years old, actually on April 29th. We're going to party today. It's the sweetest little thing ever. She turns 5. That is going to be with her.
So Caroline from back Bruley is having a birthday party.
You can take it now.
Go figure.
Let me connect the dots for you. So my sister lives in kind of back Santa Monica, if you will.
Yeah, County down to 11.
We're coming this way. Middle point, we're going to keep going to my sister's.
Appreciate it.
The cake and ice cream and all the the extra activities over there.
All right, Buzzy. Have a good one, Buzzy. Buzz, have a good one. We'll take a time out. Be back with more sports church from Greystone right after this.
Hey, bud.
Yeah.
Yep. Just found out what the starting lineup is going to be for LSU baseball coming up in an hour when they take on Ole Miss Game 3. Will Helmers will get the start. So the freshman out of Jesuit, we thought Helmers, Edwards, and Money. That was the three people that Paul Maneri was thinking about against Kentucky. He went with Money over Helmers at the time, said his changeup and secondary pitches he thought were a little better than Helmers. The Money start, he did that 2 weeks in a row. It didn't really work out either time. So now we expected Edwards or Helmers this week. Edwards threw 2/3 of an inning on Thursday. So Helmers, who worked 3 innings on Tuesday against ULM, got the win. He will get the start today. Also, tell you a little bit about the lineup. Morgan at the top, Cruz and right. Thank goodness. Thompson not hitting in the 3-hole backfired as they threw him into the 3-hole for no reason. And he goes 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts yesterday. He's back hitting in the 6th spot. Dugas will hit 3rd. DeGiacomo.
What? Oh, gosh. What are you seeing? What is it?
DeGiacomo's hitting 4th.
You don't like it?
The guy's 100 pounds soaking wet. He's hitting 4th.
So you don't think he's going to be he's not.
I mean, the game has been
He's not
played for
21.
150 years a certain way.
Yeah.
Put your best hitters 1 through 5. Put your power guy in the 4-hole. Put your best overall hitter in the 3-hole. Put your guy who takes a lot of pitches, has a great strike zone, runs fast in the leadoff. I mean, like, it's just
Maybe
why
it's-
are we feel? Like,
Maybe it's a
it's just so
Maybe it's a
ridiculous.
misprint.
It's not a misprint. See,
You
I'm,
gonna do a review before I leave?
all right, breakfast. I'm so rattled. It's just so ridiculous. My God.
You gotta
We're
put
over
the
here
time
at
out.
Greystone Golf and Country Club. Joel Davis leaving us to go to Woodhaven. We just had a fantastic breakfast burrito thanks to the new chef, Chef Shane, who comes to us from, he was over at the Mexican restaurant, Velvet Cactus, for years. You're grubbing down. You ain't got much left. What's your
Right.
takeaway?
So he made 2 different burritos. One was a sausage, egg, and cheese burrito. The other one was like egg, bacon, and cheese burrito. And I gotta be honest with you, he threw it together.
It's not on the menu. You got to ask for it. It's a Sports Shorts burrito.
Sports Shorts burrito. Fantastic. The only thing I would add is I gotta have some jalapeno.
You like that?
I like the jalapeno.
All right, scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best burrito yet, breakfast burrito you had, 1 being the worst. Where you at?
7.5, the way it is with the bacon.
Mhm.
It would have been an 8 with a little jalapeno.
Okay, all right, there you
Not
go.
very far off.
Joel Davis, Breakfast Sandwich Review. Hour number 2, Dan Canterbury and Tommy Price saying LSU Baseball Talk next. Put that plate on the bar or somewhere.
You don't want the cheese?
No. It's,
Yeah. Were you eating the bacon one or the sausage one?
I took a bite of both.
Do you eat the
You know what it is? I don't really like. Yeah. I don't really like the salsa. Give me cheese, egg, meat, onion, bell pepper, whatever. You know, cheese. Yeah. It's soaking wet from the bottom.
It's trippy.
All right, there you go. So look, you can eat mine if you want to take a bite of it. I don't like it. I mean, of course I say it's great. You don't know. Really? You don't know.
team football. Yeah. Tomorrow.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Shorts Radio. We've got hour number 2 getting ready to get underway. Thanks to Joel Davis, who joined us hour number 1. Hour number 2, we will have Dan Canterbury in a little bit. But right now, let's go to the phone line and bring in Tommy Krysan. TK, how are you, sir? I'm doing good. Dan Canterbury will be here in a minute, but just you and me right now, TK, and you're brought to us, of course, by the folks over at Court Street Cafe every Saturday at 11 o'clock. Court Street Cafe in Port Allen, one of the best brunches around. So if you're looking for a brunch spot, just 5 minutes over the Mississippi River Bridge from the I-10 College Drive exit to Court Street Cafe. TK, your reaction to what LSU baseball is doing this weekend, where did that come from?
And we do our name. Yeah. I mean, that's good.
7,500. I heard you said 7,500. $75. Yeah.
Give me a ginger bath.
There's a kid's market.
Yeah, it is, man.
Hold on a second. Ronnie Rantz joined by Tommy Krysan. Dan Canterbury with us right now. So, TK, your reaction to a couple things. There were some big things that happened in both of these first 2 games of the series. One on Thursday, Dylan Cruz, as good as he's been, the leading hitter, he'll be a freshman All-American, making a ploy to be the freshman of the year in the country. But just hasn't come through with runners in scoring position. It's a weird deal, a weird glitch, I guess, if you will, in the statistics that he's hitting so well, but he had under 200 with runners in scoring position, comes through in a big way, flips the scoreboard, and gives LSU the lead with that gigantic homer to left field on Thursday. Your reaction to that, and then arguably the worst base running gaffe in the last 10 years for LSU baseball.
That's the way to do it. Okay, sounds good. Yes. Well, I normally play with the other one, and I've been trying to talk with Jerry and Lance and join out here. People play with today, and the only problem is, he's off on Monday, and that's the day he can play the most. And we're closed.
Yeah, that was the thing that surprised me the most right there, was that they were able to overcome the base running mistake that time. One last thing here, TK. LSU, Will Helmer's getting the start today on the mound. Your reaction to that? They're going with Will Helmer's over Blake Money and over an Edwards who pitched only 2/3 of an inning on Thursday.
I was at a different ring.
I was in the Gulf Shores always working on condos. So I didn't do Brian, son-in-law.
No, we played in the Paris Cup thing a little bit. I have to.
Her business too is friends. What we want to be. Friday morning at 10:30, so you want to know how we play, why I get home. Gulf Shores till, if it must have been.
Well, hopefully that happens. I'll tell you what, it's a big difference right now, 6-12 versus 7-11. And I said this earlier to Buzz. We had Buzzy Heidel on hour number 1. If somehow LSU ties today, then I'm predicting they're going to host a regional because they were 6-11-1 in 2008. They went on a 23-game win streak. If somehow they tie and it's the same record,
It's hard to do that because they got a bus.
right?
It's not even a play.
But you could have rain delays, and then they can't start after midnight or something.
You can have Armageddon.
TK. All right, TK, tell us about Court Street Cafe.
I haven't played here. This is how long it's been since today.
I hadn't played there in 10 or 15 years. Well, to see do what we did, we played for lesson and played the gold league. And we played the senior team. And then what we all did on the sixth quarter that was real long. Everybody played up.
Hey, man, you don't have to say that over. Okay.
He's Tommy Chrysan, joining us each and every week through the Court Street Cafe. Have a good one, TK. Thank you, man. Dan Canterbury joining us over here at Greystone Golf and Country Club in Denham Springs, just 15 minutes from the I-10, I-12 split. Cano, before this weekend series against Ole Miss on the road, in your mind, you thought LSU would win one?
Well, I was on the show with Charlie Henniger, and of course we do podcasts. I thought they'd win game one because I like Marcel. Sure. Okay, I didn't predict that their number one Hodgman would be out. That was
a big bonus.
Because Marcel didn't have his best game, but he's
kept them in it.
Great competitor. I mean, he's one of the best pitchers ever, in my opinion. I've seen all, including you. But the second game I thought was a toss-up, but I really liked him. When he was the 3-hole guy, he was the best 3-hole in the country, I think. And so moving up to 2-hole, not a big deal. He gave you a great performance, gave you the 9 innings you needed, gave you bullpen.
Big game, 10-hitter, spread it out 2 runs. It was amazing.
I thought that we could. I said we'll win game one. Game two is a toss-up because I thought McCasey, but I didn't know McCasey would not go to the full game because of what he did the day before. And they struggled a little bit like we do. So I thought that game was a toss-up, depending on who went out first. And I think it was right. And then today, the advantage goes to Ole Miss. But the magic, like baseball, it's just how it falls. Sometimes you're supposed to win, sometimes you're not. Ole Miss is definitely in a funk because they can't field, they can't run the bases, they can't hit the timely hit. They get solo homers. Ronnie, in baseball, if you're hitting solo homers, that's a kiss of death.
He's Dan Canterbury. We'll take time out and we'll come back. We'll talk about the line.
I want to get your reaction, your honest reaction to Giovanni DiGiacomo hitting in the 4-hole today. That's something that I would have lost a lot of money in my wallet if you'd have told me before the season that would ever happen. And the Thompson experiment, they're putting him back in the 6th spot where he had 2 hits on Thursday. He hit the 4-hole yesterday, 0 for strikeouts. And tell me why Drew Bianco is starting all 3 games this weekend, if it has anything to do with other than the fact that he's great on the road. I mean, he's back again, starting at second base, hitting in the 8th spot. We'll be back with Sports Shorts from Greystone Golf and Country Club right after this.